We'll get out on the highway, riding high on a sunny day. Just about to reach the sunset. Man, it was just a beautiful day. I said, yeah, it was a beautiful day. It's all going my way. It was so beautiful. And then she pulled beside me, gave a wink and made my day. Well, I could hear her radio playing. Man, it was just a beautiful day. I said, yeah, it was a beautiful day. It's all going my way. It's so beautiful. Oh yeah, listen what I say. It's not a day where the bills were laid. Tonight I got me a second day. Walk around now singing a song. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Who knows what holds tomorrow? Hope it wasn't like yesterday. Well, I'll just enjoy the moment. Man, it was just a beautiful day. I said, yeah, it was a beautiful day. It's all going my way. It's so beautiful. Oh yeah, listen what I say. It was a beautiful day. It's all going my way. It's so beautiful. Oh yeah, listen what I say. Listen what I say. It was a beautiful day. It's all going my way. It's so beautiful. Oh yeah, listen what I say. Listen what I say. Listen what I say. Listen what I say. It's all going my way. It's so beautiful.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer on average got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
And more here on board.
Hey, it's the
John and
Heather Show coming to all of you live from
our production studio, riding with these wonderful people back here. Born to Ride. They're the best ones you could possibly imagine. Just go ahead and watch them. You don't need to watch it. Just watch Born to Ride.
That's it. You don't need
And John and Heather.
And the John and Heather Show, exactly. You don't need to watch anything else besides Born to Ride and the John and Heather Show. That's all we need to watch.
That's about right.
That's it.
That's it. So let's see. This week was an interesting week. It was a busy week for us. We had all kinds of events that we went ahead and did today. But this week we did Lebanon.
We did the female unity ride at Crystal River Harley Davidson.
That was fun. There was a
Put
lot
on
of
My
them.
Stilettos on Steel and Uncaged Life and Crystal River Harley Davidson. It was a great ride. I think they had about 65 ladies in total out riding, even with the terrible weather we had. Because us strong ladies, we don't melt. That's why we get out and we ride, because we don't melt.
That's because sugar melts. But wait, you don't melt. Wait, I was trying to think of a funny joke for that. It just wasn't popping in my head. Sorry.
Yeah, we let that one slide.
Let that one slide. I was trying to be funny, but oh well.
Then we were out at Crossroads at Lebanon Station.
Oh, yeah.
They had a full 4 days for the love of music, raising money for
all the local bands because of COVID, because COVID killed our, you know what it's done.
Yeah. It's killed the bar scene. It's killed the musician scene. It's killed just about everybody's scene.
It's hard to be in general admission crammed into a front stage when you have to social distance.
Exactly. And we're not about that social distancing or that mask.
What's that?
We don't know what that is. But anyways, we had a good time out at the Crossroads. We also celebrated a good friend of ours' birthday.
Yes.
It was Rick's birthday.
Yes.
And guess what I got on film?
Rick getting a happy
birthday song.
Oh, yeah. Now, he said he was going to sing if they were going to play some Merle Haggard, though. But, yeah, I don't know if the Merle Haggard was going to be flowing that night or not.
Oh, well. Hey, you know how it is. But we had a good time. And we're going to go ahead and see who we've got on. We've got Susan Hessling with us. How you doing,
hey,
Susan?
how you doing, Suzanne?
And look who we got.
We got the
Night
fabulous
of Sin.
We got Sin in the house.
That's right.
His house.
And we've got the birthday boy himself.
There he is.
Happy birthday to you.
You live in a zoo. You look like a monkey. And you spell like 1, 2.
That was rude. Happy birthday, Rick.
Happy birthday. We love you, brother.
Love you, Rick. And then there's Karen Brownell. Hi, Karen.
She's saying hi to Rick.
Hi to Rick. Hi, Karen. How are you?
Yep. And I see we got some people in the green room down here.
And we've got Michelle Taft joining us.
Yes.
Hi, Michelle. How you doing?
Oh, I love her.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and start our first show, our first clip, and let us begin. And we will start right now.
To ride.
Amazing to see him in the wild like this.
For those who were born to ride, there's Progressive.
For more of Motor, subscribe now.
Hey, stay put. This is Lorne.
And I'm Clyde.
And you're watching
Born to Ride. And cut. That'll work.
Geez, tell that guy to speak English, will ya?
Was that you?
Well, he did say cut.
I've been rowdy my whole life. Guess that's why me and my uncle get along so well. You never know what he's gonna do. He loves the riding, the adventures. He says the open road is his backyard. He's the best. I can't wait to be an uncle one day. And I'm gonna be just like my Uncle Rowdy. Guess that's why my parents named me after him in the first place. I'm Rowdy. Like my uncle.
Hi, I'm attorney Robert Rubenstein, and this is Rubenstein's Rules for Personal Injury. Rule number 1, get an attorney. When you or a loved one have been injured by another's negligence, an experienced attorney can make a huge difference. At Rubenstein Law, we will find all of the insurance, make sure your injuries are documented, and work to get you the best result. While each case is different, a well-known insurance company's own study showed people with a lawyer on average got more money. Call Rubenstein Law at 1-800-FL-LEGAL.
Everyone was right, I was born to ride. Born to Ride is a multimedia marketing and promotional machine with TV, magazines, streaming radio, and internet advertising opportunities. There are tens of thousands of motorcycles. We reach the people who ride them. Born to Ride. Find out more at borntoride.com.
Duke's Brewhouse Lakeland, the hottest, newest place everyone is talking about, invites you to Bike Night, first Wednesday of every month, 6 to 9 p.m. Ride your motorcycle and get 15% off your meal at Bike Night. That's 15% off your meal at Bike Night. Speaking of food, it's the best in town with the hottest servers anywhere. Wing Wars? Duke's wins every time. So don't miss Bike Night. Duke's Brewhouse, Lakeland. It's the first Wednesday of every month. Brought to you by Born to Ride TV and Magazine and Rubenstein Law. Born to Ride TV Radio live every Tuesday night, 7 to 8 p.m. with Dave Flash Morgan, special guest, and Born to Ride TV content. At Facebook, Born to Ride TV Magazine. Read it, watch it, ride it.
All right. Hello, Dave.
Welcome back,
Hi,
Dave.
everybody.
Dave, I mean, you've been around the man in the office, creating, dealing with, getting the stuff. Let's get right into it, man. Easy Riders in the office, at the helm, and dealing with Dave Mann's pictures coming in for each month in the magazine. How cool was that?
Oh, it was an amazing time to be there and to be friends with David and Jackie. And we had so many great times. And, Dave's favorite saying was, "Don't let the bastards get you down." That's how he lived his life. And he started out, his first painting of the motorcycle culture was in 1963. And that was a painting called Hollywood Run. And what Dave did is he took that painting and his customized pan head, and he went to the Kansas City Custom Car Show. And he was hoping to show off the bike and the painting. And he met a 1%er there, a great big guy named Tiny. And they became best friends. Well, Tiny decided that his paintings were too good, that the world needed to see these paintings. So Tiny actually got in touch with Ed Big Daddy Roth, who's, of course, the famous car customizer, and he was the father of Rat Fink and the publisher of Choppers magazine. Well, Ed bought the painting for $85, and that's how David Mann got started doing paintings of the biker lifestyle. He went on to do 10 more paintings for Roth, and then in 1971, he saw an ad way in the back of Easy Riders magazine. It was an ad for artists and cartoonists and illustrators and things like that. And he got a job with Easy Riders magazine doing his beautiful artwork of the biker culture. And they started in the magazine with issue number 3. And he had been in Easy Riders and in Biker magazine for years and years and years. He did over 300 biker lifestyle paintings in those times. And of course, everybody knows that he had this knack of finding the essence, of the riding experience and the lifestyle that we all love. And they all came from personal experience. A lot of these people in the paintings were people that he knew and were friends with over the years, And so, yeah, David, in the late 70s and early 80s, there were a lot of motorcycle customizers that would look at Dave's paintings in Easy Riders magazine and then they would take a look at much like our friend Jared, they would take a look at a bike and then decide they were actually going to build the bike. Well, David would exaggerate things on the motorcycle just to make it look cool in the painting. So he would exaggerate the rake of the bike's frame, or the length of the front end, or a tall sissy bar, or ape hangers, or really high, wild, crazy exhaust pipes, just for artistic effect. But the builders would actually create the bikes that David drew. And so in a way, he was one of the fathers of the custom chopper design as we know it today. And then in November 1983 issue of Easy Riders, there was a painting that David did that is called The Ghost Rider, which has forever captured the hearts of bikers all over the world. It shows a righteous chopper rider who's jamming down the desert somewhere in the Southwest, and riding just off to the left of him and out of his sight is the ghostly spirit of a Pony Express rider. And there's something about that painting. It caught the inspiration and the imagination of a whole generation of Harley-Davidson riders, and the rest pretty much is history. Hundreds of paintings, and David Mann really changed the biker world. You know, we think of the essence of the biker world and the paintings that were up in all of our garages. I know they were up in my garage. And that's who David Mann was.
Well, Dave, I've seen the Ghost Rider on murals on buildings and bike shops, and that's the essence of this. But to be a part of that, I mean, were you there when the paintings came in, or the pictures came in, and you got to place them in the magazine, and the power of that? I mean, how much did that magnify Easy Riders? I remember all those dudes have the black beards and the gloves and the long hair pushed back, and they always had the chicks on the back, and they were just the coolest pictorials of biking lifestyle, like you said.
It's really true. We would unwrap these things when they would come in the mail to us. Each one was it was like the Holy Grail. We'd open up the package, and these were not big paintings, folks. These paintings were actually the size of a 2-page spread in a magazine. That's how small they were. And so you could really appreciate the detail, because he airbrushed a lot of this stuff.
Wow.
And and he would call up and he'd go, I kind of need an idea for the next painting. Really? Really, Dave? He goes, yeah, I'm pretty much run out of ideas. So you could actually say, well, what about this? And then he would do a little drawing of it, and you go, oh, that's awesome. And he would send you this finished painting, and that alone was amazing. And I'll tell you a great story about David Mann. We were in Milwaukee, and it was for the 100th Harley-Davidson anniversary. And I remember Keith Ball told me, now, don't spend a lot of money on rental cars, because, I got the biggest, blackest Lincoln Town car I could find, because it was going to shuttle around David Mann and Jackie Mann. And I was the driver, and they were in the back. And I said, no, we're not getting a little Toyota Camry. We're getting a big black monster car, right? And so, we went from the airport in that car. Way out in the middle of nowhere is where they put us. I don't know why, because most everything was happening right in the middle of town. Well, out near where we were, there was a bar. And this bar was a biker bar. And I can't remember the name of it or who owned it or anything like that. All I know is we stopped there, we went in, and friends, there were David Mann paintings on every wall of this biker bar. And it was like walking in there with God. Here, the owner was like, I'm not worthy. He was bowing before, and David Mann was there, and he was signing the pictures on the wall.
Awesome.
Well, needless to say, none of us bought a drink all night.
Hello? What's that? Rousers is having their 30th anniversary party. When? September the 12th. Well, I'll be there.
Duke's
Hey, it's the
John and
Heather Show, and we're back, and we've got some really special guests for you tonight. We have got Christy and Beth, two female motorcyclists who also are cancer survivors,
Yes.
breast cancer survivors.
Strong women.
Very strong, beautiful, amazing women with some wonderful, fun, great, uplifting stories. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring them on in just a minute. So please bear with me while I do that. And we'll be ready in just a minute. Let me see if my guests are ready. Christy, are you ready? I can see you.
You wave. Okay.
Beth,
wave if you can see us and you're ready.
All right.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
Here we go.
Hey.
What's going on, guys?
Oh, nothing much. We're just trying to get the banners up. Oh, yeah. We're just having a great time tonight.
Doing good.
How are you?
Beth, how
Yeah,
you
how
doing,
are
honey?
you?
You okay?
Hi, Beth.
Yeah, just following along.
Hi, Beth. Nice to meet you, Beth.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
I heard it. Hi. I heard at the Female Unity ride, you had nothing on but kisses all over the top of your head.
Yes.
She had kisses all over her head from the people that were in the ride and the survivors, and it was actually on the cover of Steel Horse magazine last year. It was a great shot. It was all the survivors and her in the middle.
That is wonderful. That's so cool that you guys are able to show that much love for somebody else. It's just beautiful.
Oh,
It's a beautiful
yeah,
thing.
we're all about support. It's a huge part, I think, for our recovery, don't you, Beth? That you have a very strong support group of people that, one, that love you and are around you all the time, but two, have been through what you've been through and kind of walk you through the different stages of emotions and treatments that you have to go through just to get to where you need to be. It's a really long process. So it's, in my opinion, it's a huge part. And that's what we're all about. Everything that we're doing with the breast cancer awareness is about, bringing awareness to other women and being supportive of each other and helping each other get through that part of our lives. So.
I just have to say, I'm truly amazed. As a woman, my heart goes out to the both of you for what you've had to go through and endure. I can't imagine what it must be like to find out, okay, I have breast cancer. Now what do I do? And you really don't have anybody unless you have people like you and a support group.
Yes.
Well, I think it shocks you. I don't know, Beth. With me, it was shocking. I had just moved into our new house and we were moving boxes and I was lifting things and pulling, and I thought I pulled enough muscle because my arm got real sore and I had this really hard lump in my chest, and I thought, oh gosh, I pulled a muscle. And I went and still had it checked because it's in an area that you need to have it checked. And I hadn't had a mammogram for probably 5 years, which is a big no-no, ladies, especially after you get past a certain age. So when I went, they did the mammogram and they saw something there and they weren't sure. Then they did an ultrasound and they're like, we need to do a biopsy. And everybody was telling me, breast cancer, it's more marbly, it's not hard, you're fine. And I was like, okay, that's cool. They did this biopsy, came back, and it came back positive for cancer. So mine was just out of nowhere, and it was self-discovery. But if I would have done it sooner, I might not have had to make some of the same choices that I made. So I don't know, Beth, how did you figure yours out? How did you discover yours?
Well, honestly, back in 2007, I had a lump in the breast, and when it got checked, it was a cyst. And they were like, it's benign, you're okay, just keep an eye on it. If it fills up again, go have it drained again. And I said, okay. So when it came up the end of 2018, I was like, I'm just going to go to the doctor and we'll get this done. And he sent me for it. But come to find out, it was very hard and very calcified. So they were like, biopsy, and that was it. They're like, yep, it's positive.
Did you have both breasts a mastectomy bilaterally?
Yes.
We both had bilateral mastectomies.
Let me ask you a quick question that I don't know. Are there different types of breast cancer or only one type?
That's a great question, actually. Beth and I are polar opposites, I think, in our breast cancer. Mine tested positive for estrogen, which is really kind of easier to treat, I think, especially the stage that I was in. After my bilateral and everything, now I just have to get a monthly shot to reduce my estrogen levels because the cancer itself feeds off the estrogen. And then I take a pill for the next 10 years. Now, Beth, on the other hand, has a very aggressive form of cancer. So tell them, Beth, what you have.
So it started out, went ahead, we did stage 3 breast cancer. We did our treatments and whatnot. Unfortunately, it has now metastasized. So it is now both in my lung and my brain. So I'm still going through treatments and I'll continue to do so for a while. But it's doing okay overall.
Are you feeling
she's
okay?
a trooper. I'll tell you what, she is a fighter.
Yeah,
This
are
girl.
you feeling okay?
You are very upbeat.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Look like you're doing
She's
great.
amazing. I remember when her hair started to come out that she did a live video on Facebook and she just shaved it. She shaved her whole head.
I did.
She's like, the heck with this. I'm not doing this.
Who wants to go through the shedding process? Nobody.
Exactly. We're not snakes. We're not going to molt off our skin. He shed.
Yep, and
It happened. It happened. But I got a decent round noggin, so it doesn't look too bad. I got a nice noggin too, so it works okay for you.
It works wonderfully.
I've been told that I have a good head.
There you go.
Let me ask you another question. How long was the process for you to find out? Some people, it takes a long time, I've been told, and others, they find out real quickly.
It depends
in my
on your
case,
team.
I got diagnosed in May of last year. It was about a month for me to get diagnosed with it after, the tests and the biopsies and everything. But as soon as they found out, 2 weeks later, I was going in for surgery. And I had my surgery, my bilateral in June. I had my implants put in September, and I had my final cosmetic surgery in January. And it's been just a little over a year for me, but it took about a month for it truly to come back. For sure what it was. What about you, Beth?
I had my biopsy done was March 23rd of 19. I was diagnosed as of April 10th of 19. So it happened really fast.
Yeah.
Crazy thing about this is Beth and I are friends before this. Actually, we knew each other before. And I remember when Beth got diagnosed, and it was about a month before mine, honestly. And my heart just went out to her because Beth would come into, when I retired, I worked at a biker bar for a while. And Beth was one of our locals that would come in late at night. Her and her husband would take turns coming in shooting pool because they have a young daughter at home. So they would switch back and forth. So Robbie would come in for a while and Beth would come in for a while. And we just started to have this great bond, just the three of us, her coming in. So I mean, my heart was just weeping when I found out. And then like a month later, I found out I had it too. And it was just like crazy. The whole situation was just crazy for me.
Yeah, we have a fan on right now named Karen Bronwell. She said, hi, Christy and Beth. You're both looking fantastic. 4 years breast cancer survivor here.
Yep, she was on the cover with us last year too. Karen's a really, really good girl, and she was on the cover with us. And she didn't want to talk tonight, but she promised she'd be there in the chat room supporting. So thank you, Karen. We love you.
Yeah, you have a few people saying hello. You've got Michelle Taft. She's saying hello and amen.
Mm-hmm.
Hi,
Kim,
guys.
Kim
Oh, hi, Kim. How are you?
Let's see. And who else we got? I think that's
So let me ask you some more questions. I mean, I'm just full of questions. I know you have more to tell, so let me let you go ahead and tell. Take the floor.
Okay, so last year was our first breast cancer awareness run. My friends and family, I am a biker. I do ride. Beth doesn't ride. She wants to really bad, though, is what she told me last year.
Come on, Dad. Come
Yeah.
on. You gotta go for a ride.
Put this ride together for me, and you know, I have really good insurance. My out of pocket was really low. I had a very, you know, it was aggressive, but not as aggressive. So my treatment was pretty much easy and paid for. So when they did that, you know, Steel Horse magazine came into it and said, well, I'd love to do a shoot around, you know, survivors and do like a cover for that, and you know, but we're going to do raffles and stuff, and they were going to donate those proceeds to me. And I said, you know, don't donate them to me. Let's find someone that really needs it. And I thought about Beth, and that's what brought Beth into the picture. So we did the run. It was pouring down rain. It was like almost a hurricane, wasn't it, Beth?
Oh yeah.
But everybody still made it to the party at the end, and it was a big party, and we raised a bunch of money. And we decided that we're going to do this every year now. So tonight I wanted to kind of just bring up the breast cancer awareness run that we're going to do. It's our second annual. It's going to happen on October 4th. Kickstands Up are going to be at Haagen-Dazs in Port Charlotte or Punta Gorda, Florida. And I believe Susan, the owner of the bar, is on here too. She's in the chat. I think I saw Susan's name pop up there. So the kickstands are going to be up there. She's going to be doing a brunch and mimosas. We've got Kim on here as well that is offering to do buses for anyone that doesn't ride. So one of the things last year for Beth was she had to get in her car and kind of get hauled around, and we had to go to different stops, and it was raining. She had her daughter and her daughter's friend with her. So now we have Kim from Buy the CD Trips and Events, and she has offered to do the transportation for anyone that doesn't ride. They're going to be doing 50/50s on the bus, as well as, you know, any transportation proceeds. That'll all be donated back to the cause. And this year, you know, we're going to start at Haagen-Dazs, but then we're going to finish over at Fires Over Road like we did last year. We're going to do 50/50s there, raffles there, baskets, and all those proceeds are going to get raffled off and donated to the cause. The cause is, you know, somebody local that is going to be needing our assistance. And actually, Karen Brahma brought this young lady to my attention. Her name is Kelly Belmar, and she has breast cancer as well. She is having, you know, a lot of chemo, radiation. She's got some surgeries and transfusions she has to do. Unfortunately, she didn't have any insurance. Her husband and her owned a business, so they didn't have any health insurance. So there's not really a way to pay for it. She has to go into Sarasota, which is kind of far from her home in Northport. She has to go in there quite often for treatments and things like that. Her car has been having problems, so she's had some friends that are actually taking her back and forth because they really can't afford, you know, to upgrade the car right now. And it's so hot. It's a long trip. It would be really uncomfortable and hard for her, especially with COVID right now, because they're taking your temperature before you go into any facility. You take a 45 to an hour ride in a car, your temperature is going to be really high. She's not able to work. She, you know, feels really bad about that. And I told her that she really needs to just focus on, you know, who she is and taking care of herself and her family. She just talks constantly about her support group, her friends, her husband says he's a wonderful man. He's doing everything he can to help her. Absolutely. So, you know, we thought that she was really a great candidate this year for the proceeds of this ride. So all the proceeds will be going to her. And we're going to finish at Fires Open Road again this year. And we're going to have Steel Horse there again. They're also going to be doing a photo of all the survivors. So we're asking anyone that has had breast cancer or has people in their lives that had breast cancer, get them to our event, please. Because what we would really like to do this year, instead of doing a cover, is actually do a centerfold. You know, just with so many survivors. We had to take up the whole center of the magazine. So that's really our goal. We really want to see as many people there. And obviously, the more people are there, the more they'll donate and the more that we can help Kelly out. So that's really our goal. James,
I'm going to go ahead and put your flyer up, but I want you to keep talking. The flyer is going to block our faces for a few minutes, but that way everybody could see what we're talking about.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, you know, Steel Horse is going to do the photo of all the survivors like they did last year. You know, we're really there to just really support each other, help each other get through it. The friendships that we've made just since last year's ride, I mean, Beth and I know each other, but I can tell you we have made such great friendships with other people since then, just because of talking about this and sharing our stories and getting the word out. So I think that is huge. The camaraderie for women is huge. So, Beth, what do you think? Do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, it's having people who are willing to talk to you about it and maybe even have a similar experience in one way or another. You know that there's gonna be, you could say something a little just off the wall and they'll get it. They'll understand it. You'll say you feel a certain way and they're like, you know what, I've been there. We've been through that. Yes, we understand that. Whereas people who you talk to who haven't quite been through it, they're sometimes like a little lost. They have lots of questions, which is no problem. You answer the questions as best you can, but sometimes they just don't understand because you kind of have to experience it, unfortunately, to be able to express exactly what it's like.
That is so true because unless we've walked in your footsteps, we just don't get it.
I got a question for you. Do you have any male breast cancer survivors that come to your rallies?
Not so far, but that's also a great question. We would love for them to be there. Yeah, honestly, to tell their stories, because I know we can talk pretty fluently about what's happening to us, but
it's
close that's a very valid point. There are men out there suffering from this too.
My father.
His father had it.
My father passed away from breast cancer. My father was diagnosed at 48 years old. He was in the shower, felt a little bump, simple as that, underneath his left breast. Went to go see his doctor, did a biopsy. They rushed him to surgery. He had to have an axillary resection, full mastectomy, and he had to have skin grafts from his leg onto his chest because when a man has a mastectomy, they remove a lot of the pectoris muscle, leaving a huge hole in your chest. And my father was a survivor, and he wound up passing away from actually the chemo back then in '89 because it was just back in 1989, and he was getting radiation to his chest, and they cooked him. The old radiation wasn't like it is now. You know, he looked like he was cooked from the front to the back. He got radiation pneumonia, and then he finally wound up getting a pulmonary embolism, which wound up, having him pass away. But yeah, men have that too. And my father he battled it for 4 years before my dad finally succumbed to it. But my father worked up to a week before he passed away because he loved his job.
So that's an interesting question, like you said, and you might just get some male supporters out there or male breast cancer survivors.
Yeah, and we would love to have them join us. I mean, it truly is just hearing the stories and knowing that, that it's not just women, it's men too. It really is an inclusive virus, cancer. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just.
It really is. Because like you said, it doesn't just strike one person.
The whole family.
It strikes your family, your friends, your workers, your co-workers, your job, your life, your energy level, your mojo, your everything.
Your hair.
It does everything.
It doesn't discriminate either. You could be young, old, male, female. It doesn't matter.
What color you are, what race you are.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
there's
going
all
through
sorts of types of people out there, and it's really important that this is the biggest thing I think for me is the awareness of it and the things that you can do. I mean, you're gonna, if you have cancer, you have cancer, but there's things that you can do to prevent it and make it so that you have a better chance of surviving it. So, I mean, Beth, how old are you? You're not very old.
No, I was diagnosed at 31.
31, and I'm going to be 54 in December. So right there's what, 23 years, basically between us, and we're going through the same thing at different points in our life, So.
Yeah, and like Beth said earlier, it doesn't discriminate on age, on sex, on anything.
I got a question for you. What would be the main thing that you could tell women, whether they're young women or older women, to be able to prevent this, or self-examinations? I mean, what would be your biggest thing for women to be able to do to be able to spot this and prevent it?
So, Beth, you want to start?
Let's start.
Basically, don't be afraid to know your body, because that is going to be your first clue. When you're checking things out and you find something, it doesn't matter if you can explain it off. You can be like, oh, well, you know what? I ran into something the other day. I'm probably just bruised. No, it's okay. No question is too small, too little, or too stupid to take to a doctor. And you don't have to be in your 30s. You don't have to be in your 40s for something to happen. You can start checking as early as 20. I mean, just do it. If you have them, be aware of them.
How often should women do self-breast exams?
Well, I can remember getting them, as soon as I was old enough to go to the gynecologist, basically, which as a teenager. So.
And we should always check ourselves while we're in the shower, and check ourselves.
You should definitely be checking yourself whenever you're in the shower. You should follow your doctor's routines, what they tell you to do. When you get to a certain age, mammograms are so important to get those done. A lot of people don't, they put it off. And there's a lot of places out there that offer free mammograms. I don't know if people know that, but, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and you will see so many places offer to give you a free mammogram and breast exam, just so that you can stay current on your checkup. So I would encourage people to look into that. It's hugely important. If you come on my page, you will get so tired of seeing about breast cancer. But you know what? If I can tell my story to one person and help them not have to go through what we're going through and what we've done, it's worth it.
Yes.
Really.
And on a little side note,
and on a little side note, men should also perform self-testicular exams for the same type of reasons, just being able to, for cancer for men, because that's prevalent. I'm a guy, so I just wanted to say that, but all men, especially when they're in the shower, any lumps or anything like that, just like a woman that has breast cancer that feels a lump while they're doing a self-examination on themselves, for a man, if you notice one in your scrotum or in that area, by all means, see your doctor.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who knows?
I agree.
It may not even be cancer. It could be a hernia. It could be anything else too. So just check everywhere.
Exactly.
Don't be afraid to talk about it. I don't know about with you, Beth. When I first found the lump, it took me about a week to tell the people that were around me that I even found it. I was like, oh, in my mind, I'm like excusing it as a pulled muscle or something like that. And then I started to get worried about it. And I was like, oh, I don't want to tell them. I don't want to upset them, but you got to talk about it. You have to get in there. You have to get those exams done. The longer you wait, the worse it could be. So.
And you've had great family support, because Rick is a really great man, and I'm sure he's very supportive for everything that you've done.
And you've got good friends, very good friends.
Yeah, I got some awesome friends.
And Beth seems to be a very nice
She's
person.
our friend. New friends.
Hey.
That really helps get you going. And I think another thing too is when you've been told, and I know this firsthand.
Here we go.
Sorry. When you've been told that you have a disease or you have something that's not that great, don't let it debilitate you. Be positive. Do your research.
It does. I don't know about you, Beth, but I know I went through, just, oh my gosh, I've got to get all my things in order. I'm so, I don't know that I'm going to survive this. And then the fighter in me is like, of course I'm going to survive this, And this girl sitting here with me, I'll tell you what, she is a fighter for what she's been through. And she's not even telling you half of the story of what she's been through. But She has never once. I've never seen her not smile.
Give us one. Give us
Tell us,
one.
Beth.
Well, for the most part, I try to keep it homebound as far as I go through some depression. There are times when I do wake up in the middle of the night and I cry about it because it's a serious situation. I've got a family and I am young. It's like I do still have so much time, and then you have to question how much, but nobody really has an answer. So it's like you still have to live every day just like you normally would. Yeah, I have cancer. I am not cancer itself. So I just have to continue to be happy, and I laugh about it because other than that, there's not much else I can do. We're fighting it the best we can. And I
Exactly.
just keep going.
You are a trooper.
She is, definitely. She was last year, that day was so long, and she was sick at the end. She was having trouble just keeping her head up, but she stayed through the whole event because she wanted to be a presence there. And she told me that day that she was definitely coming back this year, and she's sitting here with me again this year to do it again. So
yep.
And we're thrilled to have her.
Yes, got
Love
great,
her.
beautiful
smile.
Definitely. So let me ask you another thing. I know Christy, being friends with you, I know you're big on research.
Oh my gosh, you know that.
So have you found certain things that maybe you might do for yourself that seem to help you that maybe you might share?
Definitely. If anything like that you have, give it to me, because we're going to be out there at that event. We're going to have people that are going through it, struggling, fighting with it right now. We're going to have people that might not even know that they have it yet. And we're going to have survivors there. And honestly, if you give me research material, I will put packets together and make sure it's handed out to people. So
What's your best advice?
Beth?
Yeah, Beth or Christy, what's your best advice?
Yeah.
That you
each
could
one
give
of
to
you.
somebody.
Christy first. What would be your best advice for a newbie?
Newly
well,
diagnosed.
I would say the best advice for someone that, and you're asking me for someone that just found out they had breast cancer.
Yes.
So my best advice for them would be is, talk to the people that you love that are your support group. It's so important to have a strong home support group, as well as finding people like ourselves that have been through it, so that I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay.
I was sitting at Fire's Open Road, and I was sitting there with Miss Vicky and Miss Fire, and Miss Eileen was there, and I think Miss Sharon was there. Sitting there, and I just found out that I was going to do this bilateral, and I just broke out into tears. I was crying, and they're all sitting there surrounding me, and I was in tears, and I said, I'm going to be ugly. No one's going to love me anymore. Now I'm going to tear up again. And these women, they just grabbed me and hugged me and told me that I'll always be beautiful. So that kind of thing, I think it's important. And I'm going to ask you because I don't want to break out in tears.
We love you, Christy. We love
and you are a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Not just on the outside.
On the inside.
On the inside.
Your
And
heart's
that's what
happy.
matters the most. I understand that we are vain. We're creatures of habit. We like to look good. We don't like to look anything out of the ordinary, for except me, who likes to be way out of the ordinary. But I get it. I really do get it.
How about you, Beth? What would be your best advice for a newly diagnosed patient with breast cancer?
For the support group is definite. The strong support for family, friends is definitely a go-to, but also listen to your doctor and do your research, but don't drown yourself in it. You will scare yourself more than anything. Do not bum rush Google doctor and start investigating everything.
Did you do that, Beth? Because I did. I looked at all the pictures and everything, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And it's not
and
that
the problem, it's really not. The problem is when it comes to cancer diagnosing, treating, there's such a process you have to go through that no matter how much investigation you really do, there's certain things you have to do first before you can get to another point. And unfortunately, it's just one of those things. As much as we're fighting time is our biggest enemy because it goes so slow to get a hold of this. So just take your time every day at a time and just make sure you're you're in communication not just with your family and friends, but with your doctor.
All right,
Try to-
well, we're going to take some comments now. Let's see.
Go up a little bit higher.
All right. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
We've got quite a few.
Okay.
We've got Tony Zavala. Awesome attitude.
Hi, Tony.
and
How are you, honey?
Nice dog, Tony.
Yes.
Up, we've got
Not
the pole
Renee.
dancer. Renee.
There's Miss January. Hi, Miss January.
What's going on, Miss
Oh,
January?
Renee.
We love you.
Let's see, we got Karen.
Karen.
Oh,
Strongest
Karen.
woman I know. Oh, that was sweet of her.
Very, very
Very
strong.
strong.
We love you, Karen.
Wrong button.
And Rick.
Of
there's-
course, we got Buddy. What's up, Buddy?
There is some great riding
Hey, Big
between
Papa.
Punta Gorda and Arcadia. Okay.
And we're looking forward to it.
Yes.
We definitely are. We've got Michelle, nice positive energy.
Loves.
Love
Great.
the way to go,
Great
ladies.
ladies.
Oh, she's one of our top fans. We love
That's
Michelle.
awesome.
Okay.
We love it. Thank you, Michelle.
Okay. That's my girl, Christy. So proud of you.
And that's from
Oh.
Renee. Renee, we love you. And
Me
Renee,
too. I love my friends. I got so many great friends. I really am so just blessed in that.
hey,
manner.
Renee, where's my Sturgis hat?
Yes.
Just kidding, Renee. I don't wear hats.
Hey, did you see that Sturgis hat she bought me? That was pretty badass, wasn't it?
It was beautiful. I'm so glad she had a good time.
Yeah.
But anyways, talking about
More
this and what
comments.
you're going through. Oh, there's some more
Let's
comments.
scroll
Let me
down.
go through the more comments.
Okay. Both of you strong. And Tony, awesome show. Okay. What does Karen say?
Karen says, don't be afraid to reach out for friends, the extra prayers and support. Definite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Renee says she loves you all. Let's see, Rick.
Rick says, have someone go to the doctor with you because once the doctor starts talking,
It's a lot to take in. He's right.
And that's
Oh, that
very
is so true. Don't you think, Beth?
good one, Rick.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear anything. They were writing it down.
You're in
So-
shock. You're like in shock when the doctor tells you this, and then he unleashes all this horrible news on you, and you're supposed to soak it up. You can't. You're not in the mental status to be able to do so at that time. And I've watched doctors. I'm in the medical field. And I've watched doctors do this so many times, and then I have to sit there and translate English to English.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
he's very true about that. I know with what I'm going through with testing for MS, I don't understand a lot of what's going on. I'm just starting to do the research. I get my spinal tap next week, but I take him to all the appointments.
Well, again, with me being in the medical field, I kind of know what's going on. I can explain things to her, which brings me back to another point. What about people that don't have a support system?
If you don't have one, find groups like us and get one. I mean, the hospital, the doctor's office, they will give you places to go and people to talk to help you get
What
through
groups?
this, that have been through what you've been through.
Marcia, me, if I'm
Marcia!
Marcia, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name.
Yes, we're terrible at names.
Yeah, I'm here, my friend. Oh, that was sweet of her.
And then
Oh, I
Karen
love her
says,
too.
great
Oh,
show,
it
touched
touched
my
my
heart.
heart.
Love you, girls. See you in
Love you
October.
too, Miss Karen.
Yes, and Miss Karen, we're going to get to meet you also.
That's right.
Because we're going to ride down with them
Mhm.
and have a good darn time.
Great.
Now, let me ask you, Christy. You did mention about being a female motorcyclist, which I know that you ride.
Look up.
And I know that you also have the brand new slingshot, baby.
I do have a slingshot.
How's that?
I like my slingshot. It's not, okay, so there's different things that are good about both. I love being on two wheels, and I swear, as long as I can lift a bike, I'm going to have a bike that have two wheels. But that slingshot, I figured out why they call it a slingshot. So I came out, and I came to the stop sign, and I saw this car coming down the road, and I thought, you know what, I could make it. So I slammed it into gear, and I pulled out of there, and got back in, slinged out like a slingshot. It was a lot of fun, though. It's a lot of fun. And it lights up. Have I shown you all the lights and everything that's on it?
No.
Yeah, it's got
you
car
don't.
lights
You
going
showed
across
some on me,
the
yeah.
front. It's got like a hollow green underneath the back of it, the back window. the window changes colors. It's all red lights inside. It's pretty cool.
So you got a moving discotheque.
Yeah, you got like a disco ball over your head as you're driving down the road. A disco ball.
Kim Schneider.
So proud, Christy. You've done a great job. Be proud of tonight and all you've overcome. And the same to you, Beth. Seriously.
Love you, Kim. Thank you. Kim's going to be, she's our Party Central girl with the party buses. She's going to be taking anybody that doesn't ride on that bus if they'd like to go. Her number, too, if you're interested in that, if you want to call Kim about transportation, if you're not going to ride a bike, you want to call 779-772-5255. Give her a call and talk to her about being able to be transported so you can have as much fun as possible on that bus with the people getting to the event. And we're going to probably have more stops depending on what COVID-19 does. That's another thing that right now we just did 2 stops because we know these 2 places are definitely going to be open. So our kickstands are up at Haagen-Dazs, and we're having our party at Fires Open Road in Arcadia. But if things lighten up a little bit with COVID, we might put some additional stops in there. We just don't know yet. So.
Wow. Now, Christy, I got a question for you. If anybody wants to contact you and get a hold of you to be able to do anything like this, how would they go about doing that?
Well, there's so many things that they could do. They could, if they're on Facebook, obviously look me up on Facebook. It's Christie Prisely, Prislac. Definitely friend request me or send me a message in Messenger. I have Messenger. Heather knows how to get a hold of me too. Outside of that, as far as ways to contact me, reach out to the show here, talk to John and Heather, and they'll get a hold of me if you can't get a hold of me through social media.
Definitely.
Yeah, because we'll be more than happy to. Anybody that has anything that needs support for breast cancer awareness, just
we will let you guys know. Come to us, and I will be putting that flyer up until the day of the ride. I'll be putting it up in increments on our page so people will know where to go and where the ride will be at.
Yes.
You guys, we really appreciate you doing that. Like I said, the more people we get out there, the more awareness we're going to have. We might be able to save somebody.
Exactly. That would be
awesome. About it. And that's huge. So that's our goal, is just trying to help get people through it and survive it. So
amen.
Exactly. Amen. And God bless both of you. You two are an inspiration.
Yeah, you really are.
Women out there that are battling this horrible disease. And it's truly been a pleasure having you on our show to be able to explain your story and to be able to tell everybody that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope when you have this disease. It's horrible, but there's people to help you, and there's support, and there's things you could do, and you can have a normal, beautiful life.
Yep.
You definitely can.
Yeah.
And you're both beautiful
Prime examples.
women.
Thank you, guys. We love you.
And which one of you has a parrot that I hear in the background?
That's my cat. I'm sorry.
It's a cat?
Yeah.
And it talks like a parrot?
He sounds like it. I've been told he sounds like a baby. I don't know.
Maybe he'll be on the show next time.
Well, Bill, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on our show.
It definitely has.
Truly appreciate it.
Let's go over the end of these.
Yep, a few of these.
Let's see here. We've got
Michelle's giving you all thumbs up.
Awesome.
Let's see what we got here. So proud of Jen. So proud. Let's see. So proud, Chrissy, the job you've done. Proud of tonight, all you've overcome. And then the next one again from, let's see, we got Kim's Karen's.
That's about saying, yippee, looking forward to meeting us. Yeah.
Great job for Marcia.
Marcia, great job, girls.
Thank you, guys.
Great job.
Thank you. And from Karen. And we got new boobies.
New boobies.
Well, that's another thing, the doctor asked me if I wanted to go smaller, and I said, absolutely not. I'd have to buy all new bras and shirts. I said, you're going to make them as big as they were before.
There you go.
If not bigger. Why not?
Well, I don't know if I could handle much bigger.
That's true. You are well endowed.
I'm a little top heavy. So.
Nothing wrong
it
with
looks
that.
good, baby.
Boobs make everything better. Well, girls,
It's
thank you
been a
so
pleasure,
much.
ladies. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Our
We've
pleasure.
loved having you. The show will be on our page for a week.
Mm-hmm.
If you want
Invite all your friends.
anybody to see it, it'll be on the top of our page for a week.
Awesome. Thank
And
you
then
so
after
much. We
that-
really
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
you giving us this opportunity to talk about it.
Anytime.
Anytime, and like I said, I'll be running the flyer for you
Mhm.
up until the date of October. And Big Papa just said he'll be riding out that morning out of Brooksville, Florida to Punta Gorda. Yeah, let's try to get a ride together.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, if we can get a group together from here, that'd be awesome.
Oh,
And my goal is to work with the people around here and try to do. See, I used to live in Charlotte County, and that's why it started down there. But my goal is to do 2 a year, one in Charlotte County and one up here. So, that's my next step. After we get through this one in October, I'm going to start working around here, see if I can't put something together for our area as well. So.
And I think I have a perfect person for you to talk to.
Awesome. We'll get together offline and talk about that.
All right. Well, listen, ladies, it's been a definite pleasure. You guys are fantastic. Not to mention beautiful smiles and just gorgeous, beautiful faces.
Yes.
So thank you. And that means you've got wonderful, gorgeous hearts. Because I know Christy, and Christy's got a great big heart. So Beth, if you're good friends with Christy,
Your heart's that big.
your heart's that big.
That big.
And
She's
you're
got a huge heart. Trust me, she's a good girl. I love
Now
that.
you're
to death.
friends
You
with
know
her.
that. So.
New friends.
Yay, I like new friends.
All right. We love you too.
Yes,
Love
we
you guys.
do. Do you guys have anything else you wanted to say or touch upon for anybody to hear?
I think that we covered it. Beth, did we forget anything?
I don't think so.
All
I think they got it.
Then, well, on that note, we're going to go get our dinner ready.
Yeah.
And I will let you guys have a nice evening. Thank you so much for being on the show.
We love you
Thanks
both.
for having
you.
us.
Yeah, we love
really
you both.
appreciate it.
And to all our fans, we love all of you.
Yes.
This brings us to the end of
Yeah,
our
we'll just
show.
close out because we're running late.
Yeah, we're running late. We ran over. We're doing great. We've had a great night. It's been a fantastic show.
We love
And
you
I thank
all.
you.
We love you all.
Night,
And
everybody.
bye
Bye.
bye.
Shine up, rubber side down.
Tuesdays.
Good night, ladies.
Good night.
Good night.